Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremy,
I'm
and I
Ben.
have and Ben. We are the team members of Bushidos. We are a PFP project, a samurai themed, and I'd also say sci-fi themed PFP project. We started back in August of last year, minted 8,888 warriors or Bushidos in October. Uh, And then since then, we've gone on and we've done, let's see, four different mints along the way. And it's been a roller coaster so far. I think ultimately, when I started the project, I knew that I not only wanted to create a PFP project, but I also wanted to kind of tell a story um, uh, behind, with in mind, excuse me, of the Bushidos. So we kind of created along the way. I kind of had this idea along the way of a sci-fi themed world, uh, highly inspired by samurai. And so following our mint in October, we kind of transitioned to wanting to tell that story more specifically. And so we immediately began production. Well, we found a partner, Macaverse, to help us produce the comics because we felt like that would be the best way to tell the story of Bushidos visually. And so we went into comic production with them, and it became a community effort in our Discord. And through many sessions starting in January, we kind of created the pillars of our story of who the main characters were, the world that they live in, um, the uh, the antagonists, and so on and so forth. And so we kind of created this foundation. So we've been in comic production since then, um, and it's been amazing ride. But also to that point, we also knew that like a PFP project wasn't our like ending place or where we wanted to stop. We knew we know how powerful the blockchain is, and so we kind of wanted to kind of transition from becoming a PFP project to kind of a blockchain entertainment company, and not only dive into comics but gaming. And I immediately from the start felt like what Sandbox was building was a powerful tool, gave power back to the creators. There's just so much flexibility with what they're building, and knew immediately that this is where we wanted to kind of dive in on the gaming side of things. So we at that time I bought some land with the intention of eventually kind of creating a land experience, Bushido themed. Um, but also knew that the first thing that we wanted to tackle was kind of creating some Bushido themed assets to sell on the marketplace. So we got in contact with Sandbox. They were highly supportive, are highly supportive. And so we started kind of building out our assets that we're releasing today. So, but with that, Ben, do you have our promo video available, or should I?
I do not have that.
Okay, let me kind of get that going. Um, 1 second as we kind of gear up here. Okay.
What's going on in the chat? I see y'all over there in Twitch and YouTube.
Okay, here we go. So allow me to show you our promo video for today's collection. I think somewhere there it is. Excellent. All right, here we go. So that'll give you a taste of that. Am I back? Not sharing anymore. So you'll also notice that there's also another character, which is called the Ronin, in our collection. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of context about that. So the Ronin, so basically, if you purchased a Bushido back in October, we then did a Daito free claim. So back in December, so 2 months later, And if you held a Bushido, then you were able to receive a Daito, which is a sword, NFT. And then I think in February, we did the Ronin seppuku event, which basically is a burning event. So if you were to burn your Daito and your Bushido, you would then receive the Ronin, which is kind of like a cyborg themed, I guess, character in our world that we're building. So they've basically decided that they no longer want to live the way of the Bushido, and kind of want to go solo, independent, if you will. And this is where kind of like the sci-fi theme comes in. So they kind of like remove themselves from the old ways and kind of become this kind of like cyborg, half human, half robot type of warrior. And so you'll also notice in the collection that we have a few of those that are available as well. So just wanted to give you further context on those also. Let's see. And then, yeah, so go ahead and show maybe the collection. Is there anything else that I'm missing? Anything I should
No, yeah,
talk
I
more
think
about?
I think you did a really good summary of everything. And what I like about the Sandbox Marketplace collection is it's a little bit of everything, right? Because we've done multiple collections at this point. So we've got some Ronins, we've got some Bushidos, Didos, and even some cool accessories. So I'm excited to really, get this out there and get it in your guys' hands and see how you like it.
Oh, that reminds me, there's one other thing. So before we actually did the Bushido mint, a month prior to that, we did the Sashimono, which a Sashimono is the flag that was commonly worn either on the backs of samurai, or they'd be really big and they'd kind of like hold it. And so it was a free mint and like a pre-mint pass. And so basically, what we did is we gave away 888 of those, and if you got access or got your hands on one of those, then you basically had a 48-hour window pre-mint for the Bushido collection. So you'll also see those in our list of assets that are going live today on Sandbox. So they'll all be available there as well. So I just want to kind of give you further context on that. So
And I think Jeremy, the teaser might not have shared. So maybe you can try that one again real quick.
what do you mean?
I don't think I'm not sure it shared. I think Marion said it didn't. If you want to screen share it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give me a second.
But one thing we've always kind of had in mind here at Bushidos was we wanted to be more than just a PFP project, right? Jeremy said earlier, I think kind of the priority was to be a blockchain entertainment company. And we knew that storytelling was going to be a huge aspect of that. So games, comics, that was all in mind from pretty early on. But I'll let you guys enjoy this teaser video here. Not sure if the audio came through on that or not, but still very cool.
Apologies on that. Still trying to figure all of this out. So excellent. Okay. So yeah, yeah, I think that gives some context as well. All the context we need going into showing off the collection. So I guess what I'll do is go back into screen sharing. Uh, let's see. Okay. Are we good?
Yep.
Awesome. So we'll first just start off with the Sashimonos, or the flags. So here we start with we've got a total of 8 of them. So honor, courage, sincerity, loyalty, compassion, justice, respect, and self-control. And so each flag bears the kanji of that word, and a different color to kind of help differentiate each one. And they're also tied to the colors within the original NFT that we released. So also in the common category, or the prop category, excuse me, what we have the sword display as well. Every warrior has to have a place to set their sword when they want to sit down for a hot meal, have some tea, that sort of thing. So, and then we kind of dive into the common category. So we've got 3 Bushido avatars, full body avatars in this section. We have 4 Ronin helmets, and we have 2 Daitos or swords. Yeah, and then as we dive into the rare section, we've got 7 different assets here. We've got 2 Bushidos, 3 Ronin. We have an ancient portal. The ancient portal is, just to kind of give you context, is kind of significant in the story behind Bushidos and the comic that we're writing. It's a way, obviously, for transport on planet. And then also in the story, there's one main ancient portal that was actually closed off. That was the portal for off planet. So the Bushidos and all of the other habitants of the planet that they live on are stuck there because that portal is closed. But they do use portals to travel back and forth on planet. So just kind of give you context there. And then epic category, we have the Wanderer and the Skull Bushido. Honestly, my opinion, Skull Bushido is my favorite, and I will certainly be using that in game 100%. And then lastly, for legendary, we have the Eternal Daito and the Tori. The Eternal Daito was the most scarcest or the most limited PFP or NFT, excuse me, in our release back in December. And so we felt like it was most appropriate to kind of put that in the legendary category and just to give it full power. So that sucker is loaded up and ready to take on its enemies 100%. So, and then we have the Tori. On the Tori, you'll see the kanji as well that says Bushidos. And then on both of the flags on both sides, we have a symbol or a mark that I created. It's kind of inspired by what some of us in the crypto industry known as diamond hands. And so that symbol will kind of have some significance within the story as well. It hasn't been completely fleshed out, but it's something that I'm drawn to, and I think it'd be kind of fun to kind of integrate into the story. So those are the 2 different assets that we have in the legendary category as well. So I think I'm going to stop sharing. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, so that's our full collection that we're releasing today. We're very excited. We're hoping to do more drops as the year goes on, or as the years to come rather, and kind of constantly kind of creating new assets, creating some hype around them, and we've got a lot of plans for how we may roll that out. But I think ultimately as well, we're planning on doing a gaming experience. So right now we're kind of tackling everything one at a time. So today we have our first release on Sandbox, and then we'll kind of go from there. So we're really excited.
It's like we
got great question. If you buy a Bushido in the Sandbox, I'd say the perk that you will get is being able to walk around and represent Bushidos and own some fools in the game. There are no direct ties. I'd say that's the ultimate utility, and that's kind of the beauty of Sandbox, is the immediate utility as you have is you can use it in game. Whether that be a weapon of some kind, or to walk around and be in experiences as a samurai or a Bushido. And I think that's the biggest perk to owning it. So, to be honest. So, do we have any more questions?
We do also have a claim going live either today or tomorrow for Bushido and Ronin holders. It is a Daito, I believe it's called Sacred Daito. But just a nice little perk we wanted to give back to the community, since a lot of you guys have been supporting us since the very beginning. But we will be releasing details on that most likely later today, maybe tomorrow morning. But just keep an eye open for that announcement as well.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, we did the snapshot over like 2 weekends ago. And so if you go and buy a Bushido right now, you will not have access to that claim. So I just want to kind of preface that so everyone is aware. I will say that it does hold a power gem, one power gem, and it is exclusive. So it won't be available on our store. So if you're a Bushido holder, thank you, and I hope you like it. I had some fun kind of creating the that sword specifically with Bushidos in mind. So I hope you like it. So.
Thanks, Jones. We appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you for having our back.
It looks like there's another question. Wasn't the sale at 11 a.m. today? So it is at 11 a.m. Eastern time here in about 39 minutes. So
That is
it has
correct.
not released just yet.
Yeah.
What other questions do you guys have for us? Sandbox Alpha is not open right now, I believe. There's just
It's
that kind
TBD.
of starter area where you can do
Hub.
parkour and walk around and explore. But season 3 should be opening up soon.
Will there be special events? Possibly. I'm not that at the moment. All I can say is that right now we're just kind of focusing one thing at a time. So today is the release of Bushidos in the metaverse. So would certainly be open to events. We'll kind of see where things go in the future. Great question. I would say, like I said a second ago, for a collection like this, you will have the opportunity to represent Bushidos or Samurai in the collection or in Sandbox, excuse me. I think right now we're kind of the only Samurai themed project at the moment. So I'd say with that in mind, you have the opportunity to look unique within the experience, which I think is a perk, in my opinion.
And I saw one Mai Kai fire collection coming in late, but sounds like there's a lot to look forward to going forward with the IP. That's exactly right. We're very, very interested here at Bushidos in fleshing out the IP, developing the universe, the lore behind it. So, stories, games, however we can kind of expand that and, provide value back to our community through stories and enjoyment like that rather than just monetary benefits.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually trying to go back and see and give them a taste of some of the stuff that we've been building on the comic side so they can get an idea of like all the things that we're kind of trying to expand into. So if I can just find it.
Pierre says, Jeremy, how can you keep your teeth so white?
Brush twice a day. I I do drink coffee. I drink maybe 8 to 10 ounces a day. So not a lot. So I'm gonna share the screen a little bit. Let me kind of get back with my bearings here.
And then
Okay.
let's also share the Medium link here in a second so they can see all the prices and everything.
Yeah, can you see?
Yep.
Yeah, so here's kind of a little visual taste of what we're building on the comic side of things. And it's something definitely that we want to keep in mind as well to kind of bridge a lot of these things, to bridge this as well into Sandbox in the future. Maybe that's through gaming, maybe that's through further assets that we create along the way. But to kind of give you further context, we're going to release two comic NFTs in the fall sometime. We're currently producing 2 series. The first series is the main story line of Bushidos, and that that covers or tells the story of four main characters. And so up here on the left, there's kind of well, that's an image of taken from our visual lore or illustrated lore, and so that will release soon, and that'll kind of give you the backstory of the world that the Bushidos live in, and give you further context as well. And so the main storyline comic NFT will have 8 episodes, and by holding the NFT, you'll gain access on a bi-weekly basis of that entire series. And then we'll also have the anthology series, which is basically a collaborative effort from our community. That will include 6 episodes. Each episode is a single story, and each one is written by a community member. So basically, we rallied our community to write or to pitch a story of the Bushido or Ronin that they hold. And so 6 of those were greenlit, and so they will have their own story. And each episode will also have its own comic artist. So there'll be 6 different comic artists in that series, and in the main series, we have one single comic artist. So we have a lot to look forward to, and we're hoping as we continue to build in Sandbox and in comics, they will kind of merge and kind of bleed over into one another. And just we're all about expanding the IP. So like I've said a second ago, this is our first step being in Sandbox to expand on our intellectual property and tell the story of Bushido. So we're really excited about it.
See another good question. How do the previous / existing NFT collections factor into the brand moving forward? So that's a great question. And as we've kind of developed the brand and the future collections, first we did the Sashimonos, and then we did the Bushidos, which are the main characters. After that were the Didos, which are the weapons, and then we created a whole new character class, which the Bushidos are kind of like the good citizens, protectors, and Ronins are a little bit more of the wandering vagabonds. Some of them are evil, some of them just want to be left alone. So each new collection plays a part in the universe and has utility going forward. But if Jeremy, you want to touch on that as well.
Yeah, so the original PFP, the Bushidos and the Ronin, will always have benefit or reward in anything that we release in the future. So an example of that, we're doing the exclusive Daito claim for our release on Sandbox. We're currently working through and trying to figure out what that's fully going to look like for the comic release. But with everything that we do, we always have those folks in mind and how they can benefit by holding, because they were kind of like the starters of our project. Without them and their support, we wouldn't be here. So we always want to keep them in mind and give back and reward them for holding the OG NFTs, as we'd like to say.
Exactly.
Oh, that was a great thanks, Mike. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but really appreciate the encouragement there. They say that's dope. Really good to see a project like this showing up. Sets a great example for creators and developers. That's cool. Thank you.
Appreciate that. But yeah, we're super excited to release this collection. The Sandbox is such an amazing project out right now and has so much potential to, really bring on mass adoption. And I'm a huge gamer myself, so when we had an opportunity to kind of bring some of our assets and some of our own personal art onto the Sandbox, it was like a no-brainer, right? But I think unless we have any other questions here in the next minute or so, we might wrap up, Jeremy, unless you had anything else.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to also kind of say I'm just really excited. When I started this project, it's definitely been an evolution, and it's kind of like, as we kind of evolved and kind of keep moving on to the next phase, there's always these like dreams pop up or occur that I never knew that I really had. I started the PFP project, and that went well, and I'm like, oh man, that's amazing. And then like, oh, the idea of going into gaming, like that's crazy. and then here we are. And so I'm just incredibly thankful. I really believe wholeheartedly in what Sandbox is doing. I think it's a great platform. I'm really excited for Alpha 3 and the future plans that they have. So, uh, yeah, I'm just really hyped. And it's just allowing us to create and evolve our brand in such a way that I never saw or could imagine, I think. And just I'm really excited about it. So,
Now it looks like, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, great question, Jones. We partnered with a company called Vertrix to help us produce these assets. They are a Sandbox like gaming studio out of Hong Kong. We've been working with them probably for 3 or 4 months at this point. Yeah, they've been really great to work with.
I will say that's probably my favorite part about being in Web3 and being a part of the, this technological advancement is we partnered with so many great organizations, projects, and people, and everyone is very much willing to collaborate and work alongside you instead of, it's not quite, it doesn't feel competitive quite yet. It seems like everyone's willing to pull each other up. So
The
we've really
benefits of
enjoyed
being
working with
early.
them. Yeah, the benefits of being early.
Yeah,
We've really enjoyed working with that studio and with the Sandbox and with Macroverse. We've got a lot of great partners. So, um, yeah.
100%. Any more questions? That might be it.
Say we can go ahead and wrap her up, Marion. So we're good.
Okay. So I guess we just leave.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. That tuned in today, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you guys are watching from, and I'm sure from all over the world. We really appreciate your support. We try to be accessible in the Discord. We'll talk to you guys. We'll answer any questions you have, and really this is about community, and as much as that is a buzzword, we love working with you guys, talking with you, and sharing experiences like things like the Sandbox with you guys. So thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback. Yeah, we're really excited about this collection. We've been working on this for a few months now. We're honored that we could connect and collaborate with Sandbox. And we'd be happy. Yeah, like what Ben was saying, community is very important to us. And so please reach out, connect with us in Discord. We'd be happy to chat. And we hope you like our collection. So,
See you guys.
bye.